reason I started doing content was because like I know the impact that he had on me, and like at the end of the day, I'm looking for one person. If I can affect one person the way that I was affected by someone else, some stranger's content online, then like I've helped.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Market Moguls podcast. For today, we have the first guest that we have had on the podcast that isn't a trader. So I want to introduce you guys to Cardinal Mason. What's up, bro? Thank you for coming on.
What's going on, man?
Man, not much, bro. Not much. Just chilling.
Let's triple stress the not a trader.
Yeah. No, most of the people that come on the pod are like, we kind of have like a tight-knit community in trading. Like, it's a really big niche.
Yeah.
But within trading, there's kind of like different sub-niches. And within those sub-niches, we kind of like all know each other. And most of the viewers, like when they see a guest come on, it's a familiar face, at least to some degree. So I'm excited to get into this and just to get into some other ways. Like, because a lot of traders, things that I've noticed in the trading space is like, they think that trading is the only way you should make any income, right? Like they'll just say, like for example, like if you're a trader and you have other sources of income, like if it's education, YouTube or whatever, they're like, oh, scammer. It's like such a weird niche, bro. Like, and I know that you're not super involved in it, but most people watching this will agree with that. So one thing that I think is going to be cool to bring on the pod is other people that are making a killing doing things other than trading, that you could also do while trading. You know what I mean? Because a lot of traders, they don't really have that sense of like financial literacy, like just being honest. A lot of people, they think that the trading is going to be the only thing they ever make money from, and it's the thing. When in reality, it's just another tool. So, in this day and age, we have so many different online money-making things, right? There's closing, there's SaaS, there's people do real estate, people do e-commerce, right? E-commerce seems like it's drying up slowly but surely. It's not as popular as it once was. Now it's FBA. But you're into copywriting, which I think is super interesting because copywriting is pretty wide. Like it's going to be applied to all of what we just talked about, right? Like if it's a SaaS company, they need copywriting. If it's, a trading education company, they need copywriting. So what would you say got you like started in copywriting, and how did you, go from doing whatever you were doing before that into, becoming what you do today?
Yeah. So, and I would put copywriting sort of in the service base. It's like a sub niche of like an agency almost. And the reason I started with that was because I had no money to start anything and super low risk tolerance. Like I've always looked up to traders because you guys have nuts of steel. And I mean, like, I don't know, as I've grown sort of as an entrepreneur, like I guess I've matured into that. But like even still, bro, like I don't know how you guys will like put up like 100 bands on the line, like, like half your portfolio and just like fingers crossed, see what happens. Like the thing with copywriting, the thing that sort of like won me over early was that it's just like, it's very linear, right? Where it's like with this amount of hours sort of put in, like you can make money. And it's super predictable too, where it's like, I didn't even want to do rev share deals because like I didn't want to like, even if there was upside for me as a copywriter, just for anybody who's like watching this who doesn't know what copywriting is, I'm assuming like you obviously know, but copywriting is just, it's writing words that sell for businesses. So anytime you see a website that is, promoting something, or anytime you get an email, or anytime you see ads, that's all written by a copywriter. And most copywriters get paid on retainer. So like if someone were to work for you and you're, sending the emails to your list and like running ads, then someone's gonna write that stuff for you, and then hopefully it performs and makes you more money than you would have made if you just did it yourself. And then they get paid, $2, $3, $5 grand a month, right? And so I got into that during COVID, which I feel like was when a lot of our cohorts started getting into like other ways to make money outside of just like a job.
Same with trading.
Is that what you started?
No, not when I started, but that's when a lot of people started trading.
Yeah.
Like was 2020, like make money online type
Yeah,
deal.
exactly. There was like no other option.
Right.
And that was kind of what it was for me, where it's like I used to be a server. I didn't have a degree. I had no like sort of marketing experience. Like I was waiting tables at this like shitty ass Italian restaurant. And I kind of fell into copywriting by accident. Like I found it on Twitter. And I started it. And honestly, dude, I don't know. It was pretty quick for me. Like it was profitable, I guess, right away because there's no costs. Like my first month was like $4,500, and to me that was like the most amount of money I'd ever made. So I was stoked about that. And then it has a pretty high ceiling, so you watch it kind of go up. where like I think in month 8 that was my first 10K month, and then month 12 was my first 20K month, and then that's like 20K a month for someone who like was making no money a year before. It feels like a lot. So yeah, dude, it was just exciting. And again, there was no risk on my end. It was basically just like if I didn't have any money to get started, I just like use copywriting to sort of like build up everything now. Slow sort of like roll.
Nice. So yeah, so I think that, to a lot of people, it can be good because, starting FBA, you need a couple grand at least, and really you need money to burn. Like same with e-commerce, same with a lot of these other things. Like to be honest, like trading has gotten, I think with trading, like prop firms, you probably don't even know what a prop firm is, huh?
I learned today actually.
Okay, cool. Yes, probably from Cam, or just from.
No, because we were talking about this other guy that has a prop firm, and so it's like funded accounts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so basically that's kind of made it a lot easier for people to get into trading that don't have a lot of money to be able to actually make decent income. So I think that trading has always been viewed as something where you need a shitload of money to really make any money. And that makes it harder, and the barrier of entry was higher. And like with copywriting, the reason that you liked it a lot was because the barrier of entry was really just like how much work am I willing to put in, and the skill and the value you can provide. It's not like you need much for you to be able to write words, right? You know what I mean? You need your time, you need dedication, and you do need the skill for it. So basically you were waiting tables, COVID came around, you started just looking into how to make money online, and it got you to copywriting, right? So, fast forward now, I mean, you're killing it, bro. Like I know we just recently met like for this podcast, but I'd seen you around on social media, and just doing your thing. So what would you say, when was the point that you went from just doing copy to like doing what you're doing now and like having your whole brand and doing all of the different, kind of avenues that you're doing right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I appreciate it, bro. We're having fun these days.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
It's good right now. It's gonna be a good summer.
Hell yeah.
But dude, I mean, I've been making content online for a while. Like I started tweeting like as soon as I started trying copywriting, and it was like I had no followers or anything. I didn't really get any traction on Twitter until like summer of 21. And then I started doing TikTok in like March of 22. And I just realized that like there were people out there that were kind of like me that just wanted to do the same sort of thing. Like that has always been like what I've been looking for. Just like who's out there that resonates with my story that is so close to who I am that I can help you too. Because like, did you have like a mentor when you were getting started, like someone that you really looked up to?
So I would say there's multiple, and really the biggest like solo one wasn't somebody I ever really even talked to. It was more like a one-way, like learning from them on YouTube, or well, at this point it wasn't YouTube. It's funny now it's on YouTube, but ICT is like the style that I trade, and ICT is a person that created this school of thought, like this strategy, so to speak, at trading. Because in trading, there's a lot of different ways that still work. Like somebody, people that I've met make crazy money and trade completely different than me. And that's just how trading, like you can have a lot of different strategies. Like copy, for example, there's like direct response or, in different styles, different tones. But ICT is the guy who he created this strategy, and I learned a lot from him actually through like pirated education. I never paid for it. Yeah. Like it was back in the day. But that was who I guess would be like my mentor, but I never really spoke to him. Now he's interacted crazy. Like years later, he's like interacted with me on social media, stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
But I never really like had a one-on-one or like a direct mentor. You know
Same
what I mean?
for me. Like
Yeah.
So the guy who got me into copywriting, and like he was big on Twitter at the time, but I don't think anyone would know him if I said him now, but Nate Schmidt. And he's an e-com guy. Like he like did copywriting for like 3 months and then started drop shipping. But he had a course on copywriting that I took, and like I don't know how many people bought that course. I don't know how many people like really knew of Nate Schmidt, but like of his audience, like I was one of his students, and it completely changed everything for me. Like without this guy, I wouldn't have known what copywriting is. I wouldn't have done it. I'd probably be like a regular ass dude right now.
Isn't that crazy?
Not
how,
in Miami.
Yeah, that can always those small things that happen like impact everything. Like what's crazy for me was the way that I even got into trading was I had friends who mined crypto, and they would tell me all the time to buy crypto, buy crypto. This is like 2015, 2016. I never listened to it for the longest time. Yeah, I did. And I came up pretty nicely off of it. Like to then, it was life-changing money at that point. You know what I mean? I ended up losing most of it trying to learn how to trade. But if I wouldn't have made that decision, like we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy how that works. Like, in some other life, you know, I would have been probably just, you know, I used to do sales. I had a trucking company too. So I'd probably still been in business, but yeah, man, it's crazy how like those little people, and a lot of times, like when you get introduced to a niche, it's like almost like by like a bad actor. Like I've heard this story a lot. Like you might meet, like a lot of people in trading, there was this thing called IML, and it was literally just like a fucking MLM, right? But the thing is, like, yeah, if you got into trading through IML, you got scammed, but it got, you know, it brought your attention to trading.
Right.
And some of the best traders I know got introduced to trading through that. So kind of side quest there. But yeah, small things that happen in life can impact everything. So you got into copy from Nate Schmidt. Is that
Right.
Nate Schmidt?
So
right?
that's what I was saying, where it's like the reason I started doing content was because like I know the impact that he had on me. And like at the end of the day, I'm looking for one person, right? I'm looking for like if you can help one person, and it sounds super fucking corny, I know. It sounds super corny, but like if I can affect one person the way that I was affected by someone else, some stranger's content online, then like I've helped, right? And so that's what I started doing back beginning of 2022. And from there, it's just been like, bro, just trying to see like different models. Like for a while, like I had like a Discord. So I was working on that, and then stopped doing that beginning of last year, and then transitioned to doing like a do-it-yourself and then done-with-you model. So like we have coaching now, and so we've been running that. We got almost 1,000 students in the coaching now, which is solid.
That's sick, man.
Dude, like it's turning into like a real thing. At first, it was kind of just like a joke. Like this guy that I was like, you know, Ben Bader.
Yeah, I actually just met him the other day. I don't really know him, but I met him. We were at the coffee shop and met and introduced, but that's about as far as that went.
Yeah. So Ben and I were working on Copy MBA in the early days. And he was like, dude, why don't you just open up some mentorship slots? I was like, all right. And so at first it was just like a couple of one-on-one students, like just for me, like just for me to put into a Slack group and just like talk shit with.
Yeah.
And teach them stuff and, you know, send them leads. And then it just started growing so fast where it's like, now I got like 6 coaches, 2 mindset coaches, like someone who makes 6 figures a year to operate the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, sales guys, like we're spending like 60 grand a month on the product. So like now it's a thing. Now it's a real thing. And like honestly, like it's just like a nice plus because like I didn't really realize that like this many people cared about copywriting.
Yeah,
it's like
no,
it's not super sexy, bro. Like trading is honestly sexy because it's like, bro. I remember I was in an Uber on the way to the airport when I was in Canada. I'm originally Canadian.
Okay.
And so I was flying from Toronto to here, and I remember like it was like a 45-minute Uber ride, and this guy was like trying to get into trading, and he was talking about how much money he lost.
Yeah.
And I was like,
sounds about right.
It's funny how it's like, you were saying this right before we got on, it's mainstream now. Whereas like now there's regular ass people trying to do it. Because it is sexy, right? It's like you put money in, and if you press the right buttons, you know, $10 turns into 20. Copywriting's not like that. Like it requires some work.
That's the idea, at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to work like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, copywriting's not like that. Like it's a little more abstract. And the way I try and liken it is like instead of like put 10 in, get 20 out, it's like send, you know, 200 cold DMs and get 2,000 out monthly.
Yeah.
That's like but again, like I can't teach like my parents' friends how to write copy.
Yeah.
I feel like I could teach my parents' friends how to like do Amazon FBA or trading because it's like you're kind of just clicking buttons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trading's abstract too, though, man. Like a lot of people think that like you just learn trading and then you have this skill, but at the end of the day, like a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but trading is gambling. It genuinely is, but it's educated gambling where you can have an edge. So like for example, you go play blackjack versus going to play slot machine. Your odds on one of those is much better than the other, right? So trading is like you're at a casino where you can kind of make your own game and you can raise your edge. So like I could know what I'm doing, I could go do everything right and lose all week long. So it's same with copy, right? Like you could, you know, maybe, or outreach, right? You could write cold emails, do cold calls, whatever it is, and do everything the same exact way, and it still get you no clients. But then you get that one client that makes it all worth it. It's pretty similar. Like you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. It's abstract as well.
That makes sense. Like, yeah, I always tell people it's like 1 in 100 or like 1 in 200, but that one might not be in that batch of 200. It might be, you might find a batch of 200 where there's like 5 or 6 clients and you just hit all the right leads. And so, yeah, there's a bit of luck involved in all of this. And like, sometimes that's the hard part to talk about, especially when you have, you know, if you're a teacher like us, where it's like, you want people to think that like, all you have to do is just like follow the script and then just
and it's just going to work. Yeah. It's just not.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And like, at one point it will. Like, if someone does outreach and sends 2,000 cold DMs, like, unless they're doing something completely wrong, like, it's gonna work eventually.
They just got to submit to time and trust the system. And that's where a lot of people fall off, is like, they see like maybe like your success or other people's success, or like in my group, they'll see my success or other traders' success and think that, okay, well, if I do exactly what he did, then I will get that success in the exact same amount of time. And it's just that the universe just doesn't work like that. But the one thing that is true is that if you stick with it, like if there is a proven system, and as long as you stick with it and just don't give up, like you will end up starting to crack the code. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's with copy too. And like the thing that's cool about copy probably is like, as somebody learns it, they kind of also are learning acquisition of their clients at the same time, because they're learning how to write to their clients, right?
Exactly.
So would you say that like most of like a newer copywriter, like how do they go from like, other than learning how to write copy, because of course like that's something that's way beyond the scope of this conversation, but like once somebody knows how to write copy, like how are they getting their clients? Are they like growing their social media? Are they doing like outreach to agencies, outreach to info product people, or just, you know, because every company needs copy at the end of the day. Like how would you say going from, hey, I know how to write copy at a beginner level to the point where I can get a client, to now I've got 5 clients? You know what I mean? Like what does that journey look like?
You learn most of it along the way. I always tell people, like, it doesn't matter what course you take or who you talk to, who's going to teach you stuff. Like, you can only ever know 60% of what you need to know until you actually start doing it.
I love that.
And I remember that, like, when I started, like, dude, I should have been the most ready. Like, I procrastinated for so long. Like, it took me so long to get. I learned what copywriting was, like, end of 2018. And I didn't get my first client. I didn't even start sending outreach until, like, April of 2020.
Because you're preparing like for perfection, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know these lessons that like people like us say now, because it sounds cliche, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, like don't procrastinate. Like it's never gonna, you know, you're never gonna know more than you are right now without doing it. Just like actually do it. I didn't know that. I thought that I could actually just learn way more and then actually one day be ready. It doesn't, obviously we know that, but.
Yeah, people in trading do the same thing, man. Like there's something called back testing. So let's say if I show you on a chart, you know, the strategy, like I could show you like everything that it takes to make $1 million trading probably in the next 20, 30 minutes, genuinely. But now if you were to go out and try to apply that, it's not going to work until you go through the reps, until you go through the nuance and learn the nuance of things. But a lot of that people, it's the same kind of concept. Like people will take a strategy, so to speak, like looking at the chart and certain things happening, and then that causes you to enter a trade, right? Yeah. People will take that and they'll go back test it and simulate doing it, right? Which does teach you, it does kind of validate your understanding, but people think that if they go on a demo account, which is like paper trading, right? Like not real money, or they go on like a back test, and then if they get these results on a back test, they think that that isn't immediately going to translate to real life. So then they strive for perfection, and they go out in the real world and get punched in the face and realize, oh, this is the other, you know, like you said, I like that. It's 60. You can only learn at best 60% of what it takes to get your goal by education and learning. Like you have to go through it and put the reps in and get that experience, because like there's nothing that replaces that, you know?
And you know what's funny about, I always find that like, because with trading, you're trading paper and it's easy, and then you hit the real world and you get slapped.
Yeah.
I find it's like the opposite.
Really?
Where like a lot of people, like with copywriting, like a lot of people don't even know what a business owner is supposed to look like. They don't think of us as business owners. They think of us as just like a couple of like degen kids, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to make money online.
Right.
But like we are the business owners that they're going to be interacting with. They think it's going to be like their shithead boss that they were dealing with.
Like at the local store or something.
Yeah, that's what they think a business owner is. So when they think about reaching out to somebody, they think like, I need to be absolutely perfect. I need to like be super professional. And like, if I have one misspelled word in there, like they're going to like yell at me. You know,
that makes it
worse
though when they do that, when they try to make it too uniform. I feel like like I get so much, and same with you, I'm sure I get so much outreach. Yeah. And like when I read some of them, I'm just like, you realize how copy and pasted that obviously is, and how like trying to be professional that I don't even read that.
Yeah.
Because it's like sounds like the same as everybody else. So like, you know, like you said, like going and preparing for it and trying to make this like corporate perfect email, it's just like you're not personable, you're not relatable, like it's not going to influence anybody, right, to make a decision or even to respond to you.
Yeah, exactly. So you forget that business owners are human. Like
Yeah.
they're regular people.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
want to be talked to like some.
What's up, guys? I'm happy to have you on the Market Moguls podcast, and I wanted to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by TRADEZELLA. TRADEZELLA is the all-in-one trading software that all traders should have. It covers everything from journaling to backtesting. You can even track all of your KPIs, like your average risk to reward, your average profit per trade, and many other important data points that every trader should know. After all, if you're not treating trading like a business, then it probably will not pay you like one will. If you want to try TRADEZELLA today, you can get a 15% discount by using the code CASPER15 at the link in the description.
HR manager. They want to think you're cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so like people who overthink that part of it, where they're like, oh, I need to have my outreach be absolutely perfect so I don't like piss them off for being unprofessional. It's like, nah, it's actually the opposite. Like they're a lot more chill than you think. And like like if you get the right client, like they're not going to be on your ass 24/7. Like they're just going to like, as long as you hit the deliverables, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And so like it's actually easier in real life than it is in your head. And people just like overthink about that so much. But honestly, that's one of the traits of copywriters. It's something I'm actually curious about to talk about with you, where like certain business models attract certain personality types, where it's like, we know what a sales guy looks like. We know what a good closer is going to look like. Just absolute savage, can't be offended. Like you can't bug them. You can't like sort of knock them over. Traders, probably similar. But I feel like copywriters can be a little bit more sensitive.
So you mean like, what is the ideal trader, or like what are most traders?
What are most people flocking to? Like if you're that type of person, you're probably gonna like, you have bigger balls. You're gonna want to do sales or trading, right?
I think honestly, bro, a lot of the time that I see, like what I see, and some people aren't gonna like this. So the reason I asked that question, like when you say like what they should be or what most of them are, because in trading, like the failure rate's extremely high. I don't know if there's even a way to calculate the failure rate in copy. I mean, I think in everything, just because a lot of people don't really put in what they're supposed to do and like really educate themselves and you know, stay to a good system, like the failure rate's high a lot because of that. But then in trading, like trading's really hard, right? And like you'll see a lot of people try to sell this dream that trading isn't hard, that, hey, I'll show you how to wake up and, you know, do this and here's a Lambo. It's hard as hell. Like it's hard, dude. I will always say that. It's not easy. So whenever people, what traits like are most of the, you know, what's the archetypical trader when they first start? Usually it's somebody who wants to make money very easily. Usually it's people that are pretty lazy, to be honest. Like they don't want to track anything. Like they just want to watch a YouTube video. They want to learn how this guy is making this money. Then they want to just take that and think they're going to have that knowledge and go make money on their own. When in reality, like you should be tracking all your data, like a business. For example, like imagine if you were to run your company and you had no data at all. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't be able to do much. You wouldn't ever scale. You'd probably end up, you know, burning through money. You wouldn't be able to spend that much on product. You wouldn't know, okay, like what is this dollar going to get me? Like, you know what I mean? In trading, people don't even think about shit like that because a lot of traders, they don't have they have an entrepreneurial desire and they have ambition, but they don't have that dedication that a lot of business owners have. And like one thing I know, because like I see like the money Twitter space and like business, like there's like growth partners and you know all this different shit. You know what I mean? Like most of it's horseshit, but I mean at least like the people that are going into that, they kind of have like an idea of like there's structure to this. Like you have to treat it seriously. Does that make sense? You know, in trading, people come in like, hey, I'm going to learn this and I'm just going to make a lot of money. And they don't want to track their data. They don't want to track like all of their KPIs. So like a lot of people, KPIs are like your win rate, risk to reward. It's just metrics in trading. But people, I'd say 80% of people that I talk to that are struggling, I'm like, hey, well, what's your process? They can't even explain it. They don't know their stats. They don't know their process. So what that tells me is a lot of people, they're just kind of wanting something easy to make money. But then the people that understand trading and actually like the traits of a good trader is somebody, I think like one of the most important things is they understand, they submit to time. You know what I mean? They submit to the probabilities of the game. Like they understand that it's not always going to be, you know, win. They understand that they're going to lose money. And another really important thing is like an abundance mindset, like not getting all like, you know, corny with it, but genuinely like, you know, a lot of people, they'll go out and risk their ass and risk too much or take too many trades because they look at it like, this is my opportunity. This is it. I'm going to, you know, I got to hit. And in business, you kind of have to think like that in a way, you know what I mean? But in trading, it's like, if you think like that, you'll end up going out and making decisions you wouldn't have made, taking losses you wouldn't have taken, all because you were treating this one trade or this one trading day like it was your last. When in reality, you have hundreds, if not thousands of days ahead of you if you want to last. Because in trading, Even the best traders, like you'll hear stories of people that are multi-million dollar traders that will completely lose everything and go broke because they go on like a really bad losing streak and then their mental game is completely fucked, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear that story as much. I mean, it happens, but in business, like it's like, oh, this guy had a agency that was running $2 million a month and he had one really bad month and then just completely destroyed his company to nothing and he was broke. You don't really hear that much. You hear people falling off over time.
Yeah.
But in trading, that is a real thing that happens. So I think that the traits that a good trader has is patience, understanding that, you know, there's going to be much more trades out there. There's always another day, and they kind of think of that long-term game. And I think a lot of, you know, you'll probably agree on this, like in the whole like money Twitter, like, I don't even know the whole word. Like in my head, I just think of that growth partner term. That's such like a fucking bullshit term. Like, you know, it's like, basically, someone will come in and they're like, oh, like I'm gonna run this company. I'm gonna run 15 other companies at the same time and do like a C grade job at best. And then like, it's kind of like and it's because that dream was like sold to a lot of people, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, and now you have all these guys coming out of these different programs that's what it's like polluting the space almost. So that's what it's kind of side quest there. I went way off topic. But
I have a hot take on that actually.
let's hear it.
So I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that, there's a lot of offers right now that might not sound like they make a ton of sense, but I try to remain optimistic about that kind of stuff because I think, like, do you remember when you were like 12 and like millennials were thinking that like we were going to turn out like absolutely terrible because like we have YouTube? Like they were like, oh yeah, these kids have phones at like, in high school now. I didn't have a phone until I was 39. You know what I mean? Like,
Iman Ghazi's got like 11-year-olds in my DMs trying to sell me stuff now. They're way ahead of where we were, bro.
Dude, honestly, yeah. And so like, and I also think that you and I turned out all right. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, I'm 24.
Yeah,
maybe 25 this year. So like, I'm not that young.
No.
You know, like I've had enough time in here, but like, I do think that like over time, most people that are in that stage right now where they're just buying shit, just buying courses, they'll figure it out. Right?
Oh, it's part of the journey for sure.
Yeah.
It's part of the journey.
Like my closer, my best closer has been through every business model.
Right. I went through a couple myself. I went through like e-com. I used to do trucking, which is not really like an online business thing. I used to run a sales team, not for like an info product, but I did solar sales.
Oh yeah.
So then I broke off and started my own company that was just front of house operation.
Why don't you start coaching solar sales, bro?
Dude, that's like the worst industry ever, bro. We did it because I used to live in North Carolina, and there was a grant where basically it was like a no-brainer sell, bro. It was the easiest thing ever to sell. And once that kind of died off, then you realize like, this sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can make a lot of money doing it, but that's not what it's all about. At the end of the day, like, yes, you want something that makes a lot of money, but you also don't want to hate your life while you're doing it.
Yeah, door knocking is tough, bro.
I started off door knocking. That was what I did. I started off door knocking, and I ended up breaking off and getting into like sales management. I really didn't even make that much money though. Like relative to like now the way I look at things, like back then I was like, oh, okay. But I ended up losing it because I was learning trading.
Right.
So like, I was like blowing my accounts. I was in a bad position mentally and just like very like degenerate. I was a degenerate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I would gamble. I was gambling with my money.
Do you ever actually gamble?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, bro, as a trader, I kind of almost like, I don't even like casinos as much because like whenever people get offended and be like, oh, trading's not gambling. And it's just like, I mean, it is. Now you don't treat it like, for example, a professional gambler that's actually good. They don't go in there and just like lose their ass. You know what I mean? And like freak out and throw all in. That's like what people think of when they think gambling, right? Yeah. But like definitively,
they think of bad gamblers.
Right, yeah.
They think of the ones that lose.
Yeah,
not you.
But definitively, like the reason that I say that it is gambling is because it's a probabilistic game, meaning that there is no formula that wins all the time. There is no explanation to why something doesn't work. You just have an edge to where you know, like, hey, if I take 100 trades, I'm going to win 50 of them, roughly, and you still don't have a guarantee there. And I know that out of the ones I win, I'll usually make 2 to 3 times what I lose on the other 50, so I come out on top. Now, the series that you win or the series you lose, you don't know, right? Like you could lose 10 in a row sometimes. You could lose more, especially if there's that human error that comes into play and you start fucking up. So with trading, it already kind of is gambling. So like for me, like I have my fair share of like that energy. Like I used to gamble like crazy, bro. I'd go to Vegas,
What do you play?
blackjack,
blackjack?
and then roulette and craps. Sometimes just fuck around. Sports betting.
Love roulette, bro.
Yeah, that's like the complete degeneracy. I never like put a bunch of money or anything like that. I used to like blackjack though. I would go pretty hard on that. But honestly,
You know
too,
blackjack strategy.
bro, I
Like,
can
you
count
know-
cards. Yeah, it's not as hard as you think though. It's literally just you assign like a running count. So for example, like let's say you would assign a 1 to a face card, you would assign like a 0 to another set of cards and like a -1 to a bust card. And depending on how many shoes there are, the easier it is to guess like how many cards of the opposing side are left. So like for example, if you're sitting there standing behind a table, you can get fucked for doing this in Vegas. You can't. Other states, it's just frowned upon. Like it's not illegal. Vegas, you go to jail if they catch you.
You go to. Well, how do they know? It's in your head.
It's Vegas, so the gaming commission runs everything. It's not a matter of like
But
fairness
how do they
in
know
Vegas.
you're counting though?
Just the way you're looking at things.
They can.
Or if
really?
you, I mean,
It's like a thought crime, bro. It's like 1984. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't really happen. Usually, you'll get banned or fined or something. But the thing is, in Vegas and Nevada, the gaming commission is like the mafia. Like they run everything. But you know, really, it's just assigning like a running count, and then but not telling anybody to do this.
Yeah,
Not a
advice.
financial advice. You know, but basically, you would just assign a count to each side, and then like but now a lot of things that they do to combat this, like they'll have like an eight decks or 8 shoes, you know what I mean? Or 8 decks in the shoe, whatever. I think my terminology is wrong, but basically 8 decks. So then it's like, again, it's like a law of large numbers. Things like your odds of guessing are going to be lower than if there's like 1 deck. Because if there's 1 deck and you have certain number of like a running count to where that you could say, okay, well, all the bust cards are pretty much out. Because like you play blackjack, right?
Barely.
A little bit, barely. Okay, so
I know how it works.
right. So there's like bust cards that you don't want to get, obviously, and then your hands are going to be shittier. So if you know that like, hey, there's a lot of face cards left in this deck, like that's when you'll start increasing your bets. That's all that counting cards really is. It's still not even guaranteed, but you can like get on a roll, and that's why you'll see sometimes if you ever sit at a table and a guy just starts betting super heavily, and then you notice that like everybody's winning, that he's counting cards, and that they'll notice that too. But then they'll usually switch around. But yeah, man, that was like a whole stage I went through.
Interesting.
I used to live in California, and I'd go to Vegas all the time, and it's fun. Like, but now it's weird. Like now that I trade, I don't like it anymore. It feels dirty. It feels dirty because like with trading, I'm like I know my odds are way better with trading. You know what I mean? I know what I'm
Right.
doing. Like blackjack is like that.
That makes sense.
It just feels dirty. You know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean. And listen, like it is a vice. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to the casino like every Friday night.
right.
I go. Me and my girl will go, and we'll just fuck around. You know what
It's
I mean?
fun, it's
Like
fun.
pull out a grand.
Yeah.
And like if we lose it all, then it's like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we will play roulette.
I
And
did
it is
that
super
recently,
fun.
actually. I say I don't do it. I did it recently. I did it in, it was in Palm Springs. I did it, but used to I would go with like a lot.
You like
like not a grand. I would fucking go crazy, bro.
you like Cali or Florida better?
Florida, fuck Cali,
Why?
bro. Every last thing you could ever want. Like as far as like liking it, like for living in California, for one, taxes are like absolutely fucking insane. For two, it's just like the policy and just kind of like the liberal culture and shit. I'm just not with that. 3, it's super sketchy. Like Miami, as far as like big cities, it's like Brickell. We can walk around here like with our watches on at night and genuinely not worry about shit. You kind of have to watch, be aware.
Yeah.
But like if LA, oh my God, bro, you walk around at that, they're like you're gonna have that taken. Like if you're walking around downtown at night, yeah, 100%, bro. Because there's so many fucking homeless people, and there's a lot of just like kind
Are
of
they
like
active? Like, dude, the homeless people in Brickell are like super. Like, it looks like they got roofied. Like
Yeah.
they're just sitting on the sidewalk. Like, I don't feel like they would chase me down for this.
no, not here. The homeless people in Los Angeles are fucking nuts, bro. Especially if you go to like downtown, like financial district, or not financial, fashion district, like Skid Row.
Oh,
I mean, you would never go down there. I mean,
No, I would
it's like
not.
Zombieland. But like even like Hollywood, bro. And there's a lot of like kind of like gangland type shit. Not gangland, but like you just said, a lot of motherfuckers that listen to rap music that'll try to rob you. Shit like that, bro. But it's really prevalent. Like for real, like people get robbed all the time in LA. Like even at nice places. Like
Did you say people that listen to rap music?
no, but literally though, it is though. No, like I mean, I listen to rap music or hip, whatever you know. But like genuine, like it's like that like culture of like pull up tape. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
fucking
you know what I mean. Like that's it's like super prevalent out there. Like it happens all the time.
I went out there for the first time.
It's
in
cool.
the summer, but I just stayed in Beverly Hills. Like we
Yeah,
we
it's
were like
cool.
we were around there, I don't think we left, dude. I don't know where we went. I think we were just up and down Sunset.
Go to
It was
Palm
like-
Springs. If you want to go get, like, honestly, bro, the nicest, my favorite part of Cali, like Palm Springs, Palm Desert area.
All right.
Shit like that. You'd like, it's like what a lot of people want when they go to Cali.
Yeah.
LA sucks. I mean, there's cool stuff to go there. It's fun to go there if you've never been there. I used to live like right outside. It's just like, it's not cool after a while. But like,
I'm going back there. I'm going back there for spring. Well, because spring breaks like soon.
Yeah.
And like, dude, everything just comes down to like South Beach.
oh yeah.
Or like
yeah.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And just, I don't want to be here for that. I want to
Yeah.
go to the other coast.
Yeah, I feel you.
And
You should
so-
check out, no, for real, check out, go to like the Ritz-Carlton and like Rancho Mirage, bro. It's like one of the most badass like Ritz-Carltons, and it's
Really?
like Frank Sinatra like lived in the same neighborhood. Yeah, it's super sick.
Yeah, all right.
The food out there is good. It's a vibe. It's nice. San Diego's cool as fuck too.
I've heard that. I've heard that SD is like the fucking place.
Yeah, go up to La Jolla. La Jolla's a nice area. San Diego, there's some cool stuff up there. But yeah, Florida's fucking way better than Cali, bro.
You know what I
Just in
like
every
about
way.
you know what I like about Florida? I feel like the culture here. Again, I don't know enough about Cali, but what I feel like the culture is in Florida is it's like super high energy, aggressive between the ages of like 20 to like 35, just going out all the time, doing substances, and then like there's like sort of like an in between period, and then like from age like 50 to like 80, everyone's just chill. It's like all these dudes like up in, you ever go to like Jupiter, West Palm, around there?
I've been up there. Yeah.
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Palm,
it's
yeah.
all these dudes who are just worth like 50 million.
Yeah. It's big
minimum.
money. Yeah.
And then they're just chilling, bro. Like they got some smoke show wife who's like 30 years younger. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. To me is like, I just think it's cool. I just think it's cool to see like how people in Florida live and how they age. Cali seems a little bit more eccentric to me.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's cool things about it. I probably am a little like jaded because I lived there for so long. Like in Cali, I lived for like 5 years of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I used to think it was like super cool, but now I'm just like, it's just overrated. And like, I think kind of like what people want when they think of Cali, like, oh, like you'll actually get that more down here. Like the like high end, kind of like fast living. People are motivated, like you're able to network a lot. That's way more here in Miami than it is Cali.
Sounds like Cali used to be like that probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like, and a lot of things too is like people are drawn to like celebrities, I think, and entertainment. But it's like if you're not doing that, then it's like pointless. You know what I mean?
You can find Casper in Miami. If you walk the streets enough, you'll find a celebrity.
Yeah, shit. No, like Miami is like for especially what we do and like networking like with other like business, like online businesses and just shit like that. Miami's definitely the place, bro.
Yeah.
And food down here is good. I mean, there's good food in LA, but down here again, the main thing I like about here, bro, is it's like very clean compared to LA. It's very like it's a lot safer. Brickell is just super modern, super nice. LA, it's like there's nice places, but it's spread far and few between. It's like, yeah you're in Beverly Hills, but like you go like 5 minutes on the street, it's like a shithole. But then you go another 5 minutes and it's like a nice area. You know what I mean? So it's like, and in Miami, it's kind of like all the nice, like Brickell is like pretty nice. Coral Gables, super nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these areas, but then it's like, you know where not to go. LA is like,
Avoid downtown.
yeah, even down, there's some parts of downtown, of course, like Edgewater, like all that at night and shit is like, it's like, I used to stay when I come down here to Miami, when I first started coming down here, I would go to like the Opera Towers, like that area, you know what I'm talking about? The
Like right near
Edgewater.
that park.
Yes, right there, that building.
Yeah.
So like, I remember I first come down there, like they're like kind of around those areas at night, it'd be like sketchy or whatever. But like Brickell is fucking,
You know, I wish Brickell was bigger.
Yeah.
Brickell is honestly like, okay, it's like Southwest, or from like 5th to like 15th. It's legit 10 blocks. And then from like fucking the water to like Southwest 1st. It's so small. It's like a tiny little strip. I know they're working on it. Like, Brickell's like 10 years old.
yeah.
It like didn't exist.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, they're still building skyscrapers like everywhere.
Oh yeah, which I love. But like I wish there was more to it. Like when I went to New York was sick because it's just so vast. Like there's so much city.
You can't even, there's no way to experience it all almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, like it's one of those places where it's like if you live there for 5 years, every single night you go to a different restaurant for dinner and never go to the same place twice.
Yeah.
Every single place would be a banger.
Yeah.
But Miami, dude, we got our spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I wish Brickell was more like New York where it's like you can walk for fucking 20 blocks that way and 20 blocks that way and you're still like in it.
Yeah, you can't even see the next block because there's so many skyscrapers around you almost.
Yeah, like if you if you walk 5 blocks that way, you're swimming in the ocean. If you walk 5 blocks the other way, you're in fucking Cuba.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. There's just not much to like do around there. But I think Miami's just cool because like it just feels like everyone has this like gunslinger attitude. Like everyone kind
Yeah.
of just like doesn't really give a fuck. There's like, yeah, not that many homeless people. I think the mayor tweeted one time that there's only like 620 homeless dudes in Miami, which I
know
don't
about
buy
that.
at all.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but like,
But that's what he said. I don't know what he's counting as Miami.
yeah.
Because I feel like all the
Downtown
homeless
only.
dudes in Miami probably are in my loading zone of my building. Like, dude, that's the thing. When I first moved here, this is so funny. When I first moved here, I like moved in with a buddy because like I'm Canadian. Like I can't technically get an apartment here. So I was just like rooming with him. And he had a 2-bed. So I got all this stuff from IKEA. I shipped it to the crib, had some dude set it up. And I was there when he set it up and he was like, okay, he's done. And I check, and like the mattress is like hanging off the side of my bed frame. I was like, well, this mattress doesn't go on the bed frame. You should have told me that. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then so I was like, well, fuck, I guess I gotta get a new mattress because I want to sleep in this bed tonight. And so I lug this queen size mattress. It was supposed to be, so it was a full bed, a queen size mattress. I take it down to the loading zone. I like was gonna put it in my truck, but it like wouldn't fit. Like it was awkward, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just leave it here. I go to IKEA, I come back like an hour later with a new mattress. By the time I come back to the building, that mattress that I left there, 2 homeless dudes were like cuddling each other, sleeping on it in the loading zone.
Surprised they just didn't. They just left it right there. They just laid right on it.
Yeah, they kind of like pulled it into the corner to get some privacy, but just 2 homeless dudes. I don't even think they knew each other. I think they were just like two buddies that were like, "Hey man, you see this mattress?"
You can't blame them though. Fuck. I mean, if it's laying there, they're gonna take it. They're gonna.
Yeah.
They're gonna lay on it.
2 platonic homeless dudes sleeping together platonically.
Dude, I
On
mean,
my
it's like in
mattress.
LA, that should have probably been like gone. Like it would be physically gone. It wouldn't even be there anymore.
Yeah.
So, so you moved to Miami. Like, did you move here when exactly? You said you're from Canada.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving 2022.
Oh, so not that. Was that before or after you had launched? What is it? Copy MBA, correct?
Yeah.
So is it before, like, or after?
Copy MBA was different. I launched it in September of 22. And it was just a course at the time. It was like a 497 that like me and, you know who Chase Diamond is?
I don't think so.
He's an agency guy, but he's been around for a while. He's like sort of like legacy D2C guy. He's big on Twitter too. We launched it together because I worked with him for a long time. Like we knew each other, and he would launch courses all the time. So I was like, fuck it, let's just like put you as 50%. And then I ended up buying him out in April, and then it became like what it is today. But like it wasn't really making that much money. Like it was kind of just like a side thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came here when I was mostly just doing the agency and the Discord thing. Yeah, dude, honestly, I love Miami. I don't think I ever want to leave.
Yeah.
I want to leave my building.
Where are you at now?
It's just a brokey building, bro. Like so
I moved to Solitaire, bro.
all my boys, we all kind of moved here at the same time. So like in the summer, we were like scouting out buildings. September, like 3 of my friends moved into this building, and then I moved in like a month or 2 later, just into their unit. And but like none of us were in Miami. We didn't know like what was a good building. Like now we know what the good ones are. They were out of our price range at the time, but like we didn't know. And so we moved into this building, and it's just like it's nice and it's like in a good spot, but it's just like we're all doing well enough now where it's like we could probably get into a better building.
Yeah.
Like
no.
Alex Earl's building is like at the end. You know Echo?
I don't think so.
Echo, it's nice. It looks like a curvy woman in the sky.
I think I actually might know what building you're talking about.
It's tall
I'm
as
pretty sure,
fuck.
yeah.
It's like you got like the massive like 4 seasons, and then like a block down, it's like it looks like that.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
I don't know. There's just like all these spots now where it's just like I'm getting the itch a little bit. I'm just like, dude, I want a better view. I want more space. Like I just want to like
Yeah.
have elevators that work.
Right.
I want to have like building staff that like cares about me.
Yeah, I just upgraded recently. It's like definitely a thing that's like you kind of like for me, I waited too long. I feel like I was like, you know, why don't you get some? Because like me, I always like try to reinvest into whatever I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But like I was actually talking to Raul. You probably don't know Raul. I just did a pod with him. But we're talking about, you know, like if you work and you don't like really enjoy what you're doing, you're almost like it's counterintuitive to why you started, you know, being an entrepreneur. Because everybody becomes an entrepreneur to like enjoy life.
Yeah.
But then when you become a slave of your business and you don't want to buy yourself anything nice or like do fun things and you just work and you just invest only, you know, it's counterintuitive to like why you even got started.
Exactly.
So I was stuck in that loop for a very long time, which is a good thing to have that to some degree. Like you can't just go, you know, there's balance. You can't go all the way to the other end of the spectrum and not invest anything, obviously. But you also don't want to go to the end of the spectrum where you don't enjoy life because it doesn't motivate you the same. Like if you don't get like nice things like nice watches, a nice car, a nice place, like it keeps you at a place mentally that it makes it a little harder to grow, honestly,
100%.
in my opinion. You know, so like whenever I really started like realizing that I had been a little bit too like penny pinching mode for, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, I'm gonna get myself a nicer crib. I recently got like upgraded like crazy. So I'm in Tennessee, bro. Like it's way for example, like what you guys will pay down here for like a brick hole like penthouse or something. Like I have like a 6-bedroom house. You know what I mean? Like it's like out. You know what I mean? It's like we're out, but it's different too. It's obviously not in Miami.
Are you in Nashville?
Knoxville. Yeah, so it's east of Nashville. So I grew up in a town called Johnson City, and I have a daughter that she lives in Johnson City part-time and lives with me part-time, so I don't want to be too far away from her. But honestly, though, as far as like, I kind of almost like living there better than Nashville, to be dead honest, because like for Nashville, for me, I have no reason I've been there tons of times. Like that's kind of was like the spot to go when I was younger, you know, like growing up around there. It's cool, but like Knoxville is like, I mean, it's a city, you know what I'm saying? I think there's like 500,000 people that live there or something. So it's like there's enough shit to do. There's food, you know, fun stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I like living there more because like again, it's like I like having a balance between not too many distractions and then also like enough stuff to do when I'm bored. But like I'll go on sprees where like, for example, like I come down here, like I've been down here all week. By the end of this week, I've shot like 15 podcasts, bro. Just working and networking and having fun, going out and eating a bunch, you know. But I like having like when I'm home, I'm focused on the gym, spending time with my family, and just building out everything and trading. And I kind of like having that where it's like I'm in my own like little zone.
Yeah.
Like I would love to live down here, and I've thought about one day, you know, maybe having like kind of like a dual residency type vibe going, like move down here in like the summer, the winter or something. And then live back up there in part of the year.
Yeah, because Tennessee does get cold, bro.
Bro, it was like 28 degrees when I flew out the other day.
Yeah. I went there. I was there. This is a while ago now, but you know Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah. That's one
of my favorite places.
Really? Yeah. That's so then you know where Knoxville is. It's not.
I haven't.
Wait, Bowling Green. I'm trying to think. Is Bowling Green above Nashville or Knoxville?
It's. Well,
one of them is off 65 internet.
What's in Kentucky?
Yeah, no, I know, but like there's one. I'm trying to think. There's 2 cities really at all in Kentucky, it seems like. And one of them is like north of Knoxville, one of them's like straight north of Nashville. I can't remember which one is which.
I don't know. Well, so I stayed there in like an Airbnb because like so I used to do music before copywriting. Like I used to like
Really?
Nothing crazy. Like
What kind of music?
Like I was a session guitar player.
Oh shit, that's
So I've been
dope,
playing
bro.
guitar for a long time, and I would just like there were like really 3 artists that I would mostly play with, and this one dude was like kind of this like he was this UK guy, kind of poppy, kind of R&B kind of thing, and him and a producer were down in Nashville just writing for like 2 months, and they had this dope crib that was like outside of Nashville, and so I stayed in this other house that was like a 30-minute drive away, and it was in Franklin, Kentucky, and I was there for like a week, and I just remember it being like bliss, bro. It was so nice because it was just so peaceful. It's just like that's middle America. There's nothing there. It was like a Starbucks, a McDonald's, and then if you go way down, there's like a Popeyes and a gym, and that was really all I needed. And but I remember there was one time we went out in Nashville, like on Broadway. I had a couple thoughts about it. I didn't like the way that everyone just like pretends to be a fucking cowboy.
Broadway is dog shit, bro. Fuck Broadway.
Bro, why does everyone just dress up like that? It's
because
like
it's just
like going to
so-
New York and everyone dresses up like a deli shop owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we get it. I'm in New York.
Bro.
You don't have to like wear the cowboy hat and like call
dude.
me. You know what I mean?
No, Nashville, honestly, bro, like I don't ever would go to Broadway. Nashville, there's other areas that you want to go to other than Broadway, like
In Nashville?
Yeah. That's like where if you're from like no one from Nashville, I mean not no one, but like people don't go there. You know what I mean? It's like that'd be like, okay, for example, like only going out in Miami Beach. or something like that. Or like, you know what I mean? Only going
Yeah.
out to eat in Miami Beach, like one of those like little ocean drive spots. Like that's like Broadway is to Nashville.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like going to 11 if you're going to the club.
Pretty much, yeah. That or like going eat one of those
Space or
like
something.
shit places where it's like the same restaurant, but they're just like different colors. Like I swear, Miami Beach is like every restaurant on Ocean Drive. Like they offer hookah, they all offer like random ass pasta meals and huge margaritas.
I could
it's like
memorize
all the same. Bro.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like the same.
And you know what the
thing,
worst
bro.
is? A lot of those restaurants are fucking fire. Like
Bro,
they
yeah,
got a ceviche, they
Yeah.
got calamari, they got a couple tartars, usually tuna salmon steak.
Yeah.
And then you got like a raw bar, you got some steaks, you probably got a wagyu cut.
Crab legs.
Yeah, you got and then you get like it's a fucking bro, it's the same menu. They probably got like a handful of maki rolls.
Literally, it's like
It's
and
the
they have
same
it.
menu.
They have it sitting out the front. There's two people that'll swindle you into sitting down. There's somebody selling you cigars out of a box.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are good though, but like Broadway's even more touristy than that. Like you know, like if you ever go up to Nashville, bro, and we'll probably link up if you do. There's some really good food and shit up there. Like it's Johnny. What is it? Fuck, my mind's blank. I have to like Johnny something. I think it's Johnny Ruby's. I think is what it is. It's Johnny or something Ruby's.
Okay.
No, Jeff Ruby's. It's Jeff Ruby's. That's like one of the best restaurants in Nashville. I think it's
Everyone in Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey, like the guy that does like he's like a social media guy, business guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old dude who tells
Yeah.
you the announcement.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know. I was
You ever
like,
see him out and about?
no. You see like in Nashville, you'll see like Kid Rock and shit like that.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, he owns a bar down there. That's where he lives. He's like huge. He'll just be walking around getting like drunk and shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, Kid
I like
Rock's
Kid
like
Rock.
huge. He has a bar, but all those places though, like all like Whiskey Ruts, like all those are like the places you don't want to go. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't want to go those places. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a tourist, bro. Like honestly, like when I went to New York with my girl over Christmas, like
yeah,
we did all.
I was
this
in New
crazy
York.
shit.
I was in New York the day after Christmas, 2
Were you
days.
staying
At the
we were
Dominique.
before.
I did say, dude, it's honestly fucking sick, bro.
You stayed at the Ritz, like right next to Plaza. I wish I stayed at the Plaza.
Bro, Dominique was crazy. Like literally, their service there was insane, bro. And the room service, like the food that they had was, dude, like 5-star restaurant. You could literally like pre-order it and they would wake you up like steak and eggs, bro. Like a whole like I'll show you a picture of this crazy view, bro. Like we had like you could see all of Manhattan, like 5-star quality steaks. They're just bringing it up to you, like waking you up at like 8:30 in the morning, like coffee.
Damn.
Bro, it's sick as fuck, bro. And then there's like a cigar lounge like in the same block, like literally right next door, like Michelin star restaurants in the hotel. But I was up there doing pods. I didn't really explore much. Dude, it was so fucking nice.
That's sick.
It was just like that hike. I was like, it's an empire style living. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was super, super nice, man. Hold on.
Dude, let's talk about spending money. I want to know how you blow. I want to know how you like. I want to know how you like blow cash. Like you talking about Dominique.
Yeah.
Like where does your money like? How do you spend it like an idiot?
Honestly, bro,
do
you know, I mean, I like to think I don't spend, like, for example, like I bought this sky driller recently, but I don't look at that spend like an idiot because I got it just above market or retail.
That's
you know what I
fire.
mean? So I'm like, I got it for like 20, which is a little bit above retail, but I know I can turn around and let this thing go if I wanted to. I guess recently I just bought some cars. I just bought an Audi RS Q8. And then I got my girl a X5 M. So
Oh, nice.
got some
All
sick
right.
little whips. The next thing I want to do, like, so I look at stuff like milestones. Like recently I've been in grind mode because I launched this mentorship back in September. So I've just been focused on like really fine tuning the product, creating it to where it's like perfect, right? Like that's like my main thing right now. And just content and trading. I'm really trying to scale. So like in trading, we had prop firms, right? Like you kind of understand them. So now that I made a good bit from prop firms over the last couple of years, and then I've been trading personal for years, but now I'm transitioning back into just trading personal. So like one of the big goals that I have right now is scaling up to trading like a 7-figure portfolio, like just trading with $1 million or more. So that's been a big focus. So I haven't really been blowing money. Like vacations, I don't club, bro. I don't go out. I used to be big into that shit when I was younger. I don't do that anymore. It's not that I would never. You know what I mean? Like I would like maybe celebrate or like maybe if like a bunch of the boys are out, go get a table. Like I will not go out unless it's like we're getting a nice place and a table. That's like the one thing. But I don't really do that. I don't, dude. Clothes wise, bro. Like I mean, I'm kind of like like I'll spend money on like a tailored suit. You know what I mean? That's where I'll spend money. But other than that, bro, like this T-shirt is like Fear of God shorts, like $60. Like fucking usually wear like slacks, shit like
Yeah.
that. Like I don't really get. You know, I don't really
I
do
get
the.
that.
I used
Me
to be,
personally-
bro. It's funny, but most of the people watch this, if they followed me for a long time, I used to have like, I still have it. I have a bust down Royal Oaks, like the brick. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a bust down Royal Oaks. I used to have a chain, like a bust down chain. But looking back,
happened to you?
I just grew up, bro. Not grew up. It's nothing wrong with those things. I don't want to say it like a condescending way, because like, bro, it's just a style. But I grew out of it for me. Not. I hate saying it like that because people are like, it sounds like, oh, I grew out of it. Like it's low. It's not. Like I know people that have way more money than me that fucking wear that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just wasn't like, it's not the style I go for anymore. So yeah, man. As far as like spending stupid money, I mean, I guess like cars sometimes, like, and they're not even that crazy. Like Audi RSQ, it's a badass car, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
nothing insane. Like this year, main other than like trading and building on my mentorship, the big focus I'm gonna have this year is get more exposed into real estate and start really getting my feet wet there, because I have some friends that are starting to really hit hard in terms of like international real estate, kind of expanding like your wealth to other countries and other currencies. Like that's a big thing. That's like the next level for me, is like really like expanding it to where it's like, you know, getting to be more generational. You know what I mean? But then after I start getting down that track a little bit and get my feet wet, one of the next goals is getting this first supercar.
Yeah.
That'll be the thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, like McLarens are pretty sick, but I feel like everybody kind of has them. SVJs are fucking badass. You know what I mean? Yeah.
For a million?
Yeah, the SVJ, that's a huge thing for like to hop into. Like, you know, he's like the first supercar or whatever. But a lot of the things people don't realize is like, it's not even that crazy to get cars like that. It's really not. Like if you're gonna put like 50 down and pay a couple, you know, it's not that crazy. Like people think of it like you just went and cashed that shit out. People, you know what I mean? Like it's like, bro, and it's like, dude, you go put like, because I see a lot of people that have a lot of cars, they don't get like, damn, this guy's making, how he's worth like 100 million. It's like, bro, people spend more on dumb shit half the time than they would like a car note of like that size. But yeah, so I don't know. What about you? What do you blow money on?
I don't know. I like watches a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I like them as like a place to sort of like hold cash.
Yeah.
But also because I just think they're super cool.
But that's
like,
a good habit. You know, I have three luxury watches. Like, I guess you could say like one of them I don't even count as a fucking Datejust. I wish I'd never even bought that thing.
Hey man, don't listen. A lot of people slander Datejust.
Yeah.
I think we got to turn that shit around.
They're entry level, I guess, because like I think the reason that most people slander is just to sound cool now, because you see, like, I saw in one video there was some fucking super like red pill dude. He was like breaking a fucking Datejust because his homie left it at his house.
Saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, and I was like,
Oh yeah, that was Harry Paul Davies.
yeah, that guy. And I was like, damn, this guy's savage with it. He's fucking legit breaking the Datejust. Like, I was like, I'm not that far into hating Datejust. You know what I mean?
You know what I hate? Subs. I have a
Subs.
black sub that I actually bought it as like, in case we go to war, this is what I'll wear in the trenches. Where it's
That's
just like, it's a
fucking funny.
tough wash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can put it underwater, you can put it in the dirt. I was actually gonna like run it over with my truck for a for a YouTube video or something. But like, I don't know. I respect him as art. Like to me, like this thing just looks cool. It's like,
That's a beautiful watch though, bro. That's
Thank you,
a
man.
nice one.
Yeah, and I also just like the way they like I wear them. Like I use it to like tell the time. Like I like running through the airport and like I can look down and I can see what time it is because my phone's in my pocket.
Yeah.
I got hands full. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, same. On the pod, I've checked it because I don't want to pull my phone out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think too, like, but I don't look at watches as dumb spending. I really don't. Now it depends what watch you buy. You know what I mean? Like when people go buy like a bust down Datejust, like yeah, that's stupid as hell. You know what I mean? But like, you know, I mean, if you're buying it for not a crazy price above retail, it's factory set diamonds if it has diamonds. I look at that as more of an investment, man, because like if you go historically, like any watch you bought 10 years ago, that watch would be worth more than that amount of cash when adjusted for inflation now. Genuinely. Like even
Pretty
if you
sure
buy it.
Rolex beat the S&P 500 like a couple.
Yeah, no, yeah. And well, and the thing is too, the liquidity of it is really nice. So like most assets that you buy, like obviously the S&P 500 is much more liquid. But a lot of times when people buy investments, they don't realize that it's not even like, for example, like I had a friend, he was like, yeah, I'm going to buy this business. It was like some kind of, like, it was, I can't remember what exactly, it was like a pressure washing, detailing kind of, like, I don't know. But he's like, yeah. And like, worst thing is like, or worst case scenario, you could just sell it. And I'm like, to who?
Yeah.
You know, who the fuck wants to buy that? You know what I mean? Like a watch you can sell like instantly. Literally. If it's like for example, that watch, this watch, like I could sell this within like 72 hours probably. You know what I mean? If I was like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think those are good storages of cash, bro. It's smarter to do that.
Yeah. Like I honestly don't really have anything else invested.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm actually all cash.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, I would say, like, so when you do like your taxes, talk to your accountant about like a SEP IRA or like a solo 401, because you can actually like defer like your taxes. So like, for example, let's say if you make good money, right? You could put 66, I think it's either 63 or 66,000 into a like long-term retirement account. And it's like, yes, it's not the craziest returns on it, but it will compound and it's tax deferrable. So depending on which one you do, some of them you pay tax on later, some of them you pay tax on now, but it will, for this year, like an IRA is different, like a Roth or, but if you want to like, defer your taxes now and pay them more later, like on gains, you can, that's like another strategy. Look into stuff like that as far as like long-term, but a lot of times, bro, like with investing and stuff like that, I mean, it's good to be diverse, but also you don't want to just be investing just to invest. You know what I mean? You ever fuck with crypto at all?
So I actually paid like 11 grand for this like mentorship, and the guy's super smart. You probably know him. You know Crypto Dan?
That sounds familiar.
Dan McAvoy? Australian bloke. I'm pretty sure he's, I don't know why I said bloke, but he
Yeah.
says that. This Australian bloke says bloke a lot, but he's super good at crypto. I bought his thing, and like, it's honestly on me, just like, I haven't done shit with it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right.
he keeps sending me signals. Like, he's like, yo, buy this. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Is it like, what is it like just trading, or is it like buying like certain low cap, like finding cryptos to buy?
I don't think it's like, I'm not active enough
Probably
to be like
investing.
sitting there trading, but I think it is like being able to spot stuff and be like, yo, you should probably buy this.
Right.
And like, dude, I have like, I think $1,200 in a Coinbase account.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm looking for like creative ways to spend money. Cause like, I don't know, I don't travel much. Like, I have an M5 comp that I rip around in, and that's fun. I do want to buy a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I just had my TRX got stolen in Canada, and so I'm waiting.
Oh
for
damn,
the-
it got stolen.
Yeah, in Canada.
How, like what? You just left it at this like
Parking lot.
like
overnight.
were the keys in it or no?
No,
They just like stole it.
No, so
Grand Theft Auto.
legit in the greater Toronto area. That's like a thing that happens a lot. Like big vehicles, you just get snatched.
Damn.
That's just the way it is. So when the insurance check hits for that, which hopefully is soon, probably Ferrari. But like, dude, I don't really know what else to spend money on. Like, my crib's normal.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I recently I got some really nice furniture. I went to RH and got all the shit, like all the furniture. It's super nice, bro. It's so worth it. Like, cause like one thing for me now that I've got like the house I have now, it's like a kind of like house in the woods style vibe. It's in a neighborhood, but like I'm at the end of the neighborhood at the cul-de-sac. My backyard's all like woods basically. Yeah, and it's super nice, bro. Very modern and like just it's very big, it's spacious, right? It's like a 4,500 square foot house.
Nice.
So now I'm like, okay, like the old furniture I had, bro, it looks puny, and it's like normal size furniture. Like you put it in there, and I'm like, bro, this shit looks it looks weird. Like it's not even not nice furniture. So I went and started buying other furniture. But that's a fun thing to spend money on, making your house just like, because my girl, she's very like, she loves being like playing, like taking care of the house and like making it like, nice and beautiful and just like designing it. It's like, we're to that point now, like before I was like bachelor pad type shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I want it to be like the house like all our family comes to for like, like Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I want everybody to come and just be like, damn, this is a beautiful home. Like be very at home, you know what I mean? Because a lot of my old houses were like, they weren't comfy, so to speak.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I want this one to be like very established, sophisticated, nice stuff, very tasteful. You know what
love
mean?
that.
Like I've got a bar cart, bro. I've got like all the stuff for old fashions. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty bachelor pad though.
Yeah, but it's a nice, very nice one with like nice scotch. I have a cigar fridge, right?
Do you actually like scotch?
Yeah, hell yeah, I do. With
Really?
cigars, yeah, I like. It's an acquired taste for sure, but like,
Yeah.
just it's not something to like get drunk off of or anything. It's just you sip it with a cigar. I would never drink if I wasn't smoking a cigar, but like I have like a nice little area outside, nice little fire, like I guess not a pit, like a table, like a propane thing, and just sit out there and puff, like smoke a cigar. Like the woods are around. It's sick, bro.
Dude, yeah, I used to smoke cigars and drive around. I used to drive.
That's hard to enjoy them though if you're driving. I mean, you can enjoy them, but it's like.
It was summer 22. I was driving this like I had the truck and I had a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
And so I would have the truck anytime I wanted to like pick someone up or be presentable or anything.
Yeah.
But if I just wanted to rip around, I would just drive the Accord.
Yeah.
And I would just like crack the sunroof. And in Canada, like, dude, summers are beautiful. Like, everyone thinks Canada is just disgusting. Like, it's not. Like, summers are nice. It's like New York. And dude, yeah, just crack the sunroof, go like through the back roads and just like smoke a cigar, ash it in like a little like solo cup in the center console.
That's life though. I remember when those days, like I like carefree living type shit. You know what I mean? Just
I feel like an adult now.
Yeah, now I feel old, bro. Like, it's funny. So my girl, she just turned 26. I'll turn 28 this year, but she's like not that much younger than me. There's a little bit of an age gap, but recently, whenever I had my birthday, she was like, God, I forgot you're like not way older than you are. Like, she's like, I feel like you're like fucking like 35 or something.
Do you take that as a compliment?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm like definitely like old-minded for sure. Like a lot of the time, like I have a lot of older friends that'll like call me for advice and shit. And it's just funny because I'm like, bro, this guy's like 35. He's like calling me to like ask shit. But it's a good feeling though, because I think it's just, I used to be like super wild and like out there, you know what I mean? Like, and like party a lot and stuff. But now I'm like super focused, super dialed in. And that's like, it's a more fulfilling way to live for me. You know what I mean? Like, I still go out and I have fun and shit, but I don't know. I think that, kind of having that old mind, that'll put you ahead a lot of the time. And like, as far as like the long game, I think you're able to sustain growth and like really build if you have that. I mean, you're old-minded too for your age with what you've built. I mean, I don't even really know you, but just based off what you've built, you know what I mean? Like, most kids at your age don't have or most people at your age don't have the capacity mentally, because you're killing it, bro.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but really, we forget that though. Like, we forget that a lot of people that like, because you're 24, right? And you've been doing this since you were younger though. Like, I would say when I was 22 or 21, bro, I was like a kid still.
Yeah.
Mentally. But at the end of the day, like, I was like an ambitious, like, you're way ahead of where I was at, bro.
That's good. I think it's also, you know what it is, being in a relationship, bro.
Being in a relationship. No, it is.
I've had a girl since like July-ish.
Yeah.
And that helps you lock in a lot.
Yeah. Oh, dude, 100%. Like, if I wasn't with the girl that I'm with right now, like, whenever we got together, it definitely settled me down, and it kind of like took me out of like the scene, or like, you know, I wasn't really doing much except chilling with her, trying to build, and it just makes your mindset. You're much more focused. Like, I think it's like cool now too. Like, it's like a lot of the guys are like looking up to like, it's not cool to like go out and be chasing girls now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I was like way younger, it was like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, the old money aesthetic kind of thing is like cooler now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I do have a couple boys that are like kind of Dan Bilzerianing it.
Yeah,
right
but it's
now.
just like, that shit is like, that's not it, bro.
I mean, they make it look pretty fucking cool.
Right, though it is. It's like, you know, the dopamine spike, but like when it really comes down, like, for example, like Dan Bilzerian's ass is like, hasn't he like completely like fucked his whole shit up like recently?
Well, I mean,
he's
they have
obviously
money.
still, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm pretty sure he's like completely destroyed like a lot of his company and shit, right?
Business-wise, yeah. I
Yeah,
think he's pretty fucked. But
yeah, so it's like,
and I think he also like, he was like, I think he was engaged or something like that. I don't know. I don't know anything about
how
him
that works,
personally.
bro.
I just mean like, you get sort of like a window, right, to sort of be that sort of Dan Bilzerian type. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, my window was super short. I only had that, and not that I was ever at that level, but like,
Yeah.
I think I had that for like a year-ish.
Yeah.
And now, like, dude, I truly got out of my system. And like, I'm with someone who I think is super hot and fun and smart and like, not like just some bimbo.
Yeah, exactly. And that's way more fulfilling, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
way more
yeah.
fulfilling.
And yeah, I think that's helped a lot. And it also gives me like the sort of long-term perspective where it's like, I want to know that I'm good by like 30. I don't want to retire by 30. Like, I'll probably still work on stuff, but like, I mean, the goal is like, I would love to be at like 30-ish mil
30,
by 30.
30. Yeah, no, that for
So
sure.
I got 5.5 years to do that, which
Yeah.
I don't think is like, and that's a crazy thing to say. It sounds crazy to
it's
say,
not
but it's
that-
not that insane. Like,
Nah, it's not.
It's right there. You know what I
Every
mean?
goal like that, like I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, and it's just like, you set all these crazy goals when you're younger or when you haven't hit them, and then you hit all those super early, and you're like, oh shit, it puts in perspective, like these things like that, like it's not that crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's really not, as long as you just work backwards from that goal, like figure out exactly like, what do I need to do to get there? Like with me and my team, we'll do that. I'm sure you guys probably do like every week or every month even. You know, we'll break back, like what's our goal for this month? You know what I mean? Like how do we get that goal? What metrics do we have to hit that goal? How do we improve or optimize things to make sure those metrics are hit? You know what I mean? And that's really, I mean, you know, you can get granular, whether you don't really have to, you can be broad, but you have to always be working backwards from those huge goals. You know what I mean? And not think that they're huge. Just be like, okay, well, this is the roadmap we're going to take to get there. You know what I mean? Anybody can do it.
Yeah, I think the difference is like, I know that the vehicles that I'm in right now aren't going to get me to 30 mil. I'll have to figure out something else.
Yeah, yeah. It's always the next thing, the next step, but like it's building the foundation to get to that next thing.
What I do have though is
skill
cash,
set.
where it's like, so you know Tom Cruise, not the actor,
Section 8 guy?
Section 8, yeah.
Yeah.
So like he built like an $80 million Section 8 portfolio in like 6 years with not that much cash.
Yeah.
I could start now and technically be where he's at in like 3 years.
Yeah,
I have way more cash.
Real estate's the way to do it, man.
It's the truth, bro. And so like, and it's just, it seems safe and like, I don't know. I think if the barrier to entry is cash, that's fine. And obviously skill, like you have to learn how to do it and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not like you're trading off anything else. Like you get, you know, decent return on this type of investment. You just need more of it for it to make sense. You know what I mean? Like more cash. And so like, that's where I'm at. I want to like figure out something like that where it's like, all right, if you're sitting on a couple mil, like how do you just like not fuck it up and turn it into something big?
Yeah, yeah.
And then by the time I'm 40, like just straight chilling.
Yeah, that's
I also want to
sick,
have kids too. Like I also want to have like
Yeah,
3 or 4.
yeah.
You think about kids? I mean,
I have kids. I have a kid.
You have a kid?
Yeah. She turned 7 in May.
Oh, so you had a kid young.
Yeah, I had a kid super young. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you definitely, that's another thing that'll calm you down too, bro. But, you know, that's definitely the goal is like to have that, like you know, just be a good man at the end of the day, bro. Like that's the most fulfilling thing. Like, and it's just natural too. Like I almost like sometimes I'll see like these dudes, like for example, like Dan Bilzerian, like that shit's sad to me. Like genuinely, like
Yeah.
like you'd be like that old and that's like your whole life. Like that's such an empty ass life. And like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like like, you know, every dude, like you said, there's a window you experience that. Like I went through my stage like that. That was for a long time, to be honest. Like not like that, but like you said, like, you know, where you're like a single dude, kind of like living, like chasing girls, whatever. But it's just like when I look back, I'm like, God, fuck that. Like I don't want to go back to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like some dudes, like that's what they're like, oh, that would be amazing. But it's just because they haven't experienced that. And they also haven't experienced like having a fulfilled life. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, I mean, most of the time, you're not going to, like, the kind of goals we have, you're going to need like a good foundation to build on, like a good home, like a good home life support. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like you could do it alone too. It's not like that, you know, is like required, but it definitely makes it easier. You know what I mean? And like you said, it calms you, kind of like, you know, it makes you want to have things set. You want to have, you're motivated more to like build that kind of like lineage, that dynasty almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's like, I think like the inner, like every man has that, does like that. It's like nature, bro. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Like that's what your brain is, like everything, I believe at least, like everything, like all the desires and like, you know, money and all this, like that's kind of like what it all goes back to is like the primal like instinct to like create and provide. Like that's why like humans, bro, we've been doing this shit for thousands of years in different ways. You know, before people would just straight kill each other over like a fucking plot of land. You know what I mean? Like, like they're always trying to get wealth, control, you know, power. 100%. And it's just in a different way now. You know what I mean? But like, you know, side quest there. But I think that's kind of like what everybody's working backwards from, whether they realize it or not. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, and I think you got to figure it out yourself too.
For sure.
Like,
yeah, you have to. It's like you never go straight to that. You never just realize that. Like, if you would have said this to me like 5 years ago, I'd have been like, fuck you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, man. But dude, it's been sick, bro. It's cool to have somebody on the pod that isn't a trader. That, you know, it's refreshing to like for everybody viewing as well to like see, okay, like there are some other hustles, there's other things that I can do other than trading, and at the same time as trading, right? Like you could learn how to do copy to kind of like fund your trading business. Because I always tell people in trading, like you should have something other than trading when you're learning. Like everyone wants to know when to quit trading and go full time. I always say like when you should be very profitable before you do that. Mm-hmm. So for anybody that wants to check out the copy, it's still called the Copy MBA, correct?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, if you want some money to sort of feed into making trades, it's like I don't even. Yeah. I'll leave the lingo to you, but like if you want to basically have money that's not high risk and you want to just sort of like, you know, have something that's a little more safe. I got YouTube videos you can learn for free. I got like a free course on there.
Hell yeah. We'll leave the links in the description to that as well.
Yeah, that might be helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for having me on.
Of course, bro. Appreciate you too. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate your support for the Market Moguls podcast, and I will see you guys next week on the next episode.